What's up, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome back to a brand new deck profile. So a lot of you guys have been asking for this brilliant Mekk Knight deck profile. I wasn't going to record this video today because I'm still waiting on literally like 2 cards in the mail, but luckily I was able to borrow the one, and the other I'm just going to use that, go ahead and proxy for this video just because I didn't really want to wait any longer, just because it's been a couple days since I've had some videos go up. Just been it's going to be kind of slow for a little bit until Soul Fusion drops, because I think when Soul Fusion comes out, I'll be able to make a lot more videos with a lot of the new stuff that we'll be getting. So at least have that to look forward to. But without further ado, we're going to get started with this new deck profile. One thing I want to mention real quick is that if you're interested in these sleeves, because people always ask about the sleeves and the mat, this is all from Imperium Duelist. Even these sleeves here on the main deck that actually don't have effects, they're their tournament-ready armor sleeves. And they work just absolutely fantastic. They don't have the illusion dots or the diamond or parallel effects if you're not into that and you just want regular sleeves. These sleeves I actually took to a tournament the other week, and they held up perfectly fine, and still to this day are still holding up absolutely incredible. Absolutely, better than I expected, honestly. So I think that's at least says something, because I've been using like sleeves for many years, and I've been always very picky about the sleeves that I use, and these sleeves are definitely up there at the top. But like I said, if you guys want to purchase some of these for yourself or this mat, you can go down to the link in the description below to Imperium Duelist's website, and you can use that code WinterKills10 off to save 10% on your next purchase of any sleeve or any mat or anything you really want to buy there. A lot of great products, and again, I highly recommend it. These are the dot sleeves. They have the diamond and the parallel. I'm a big fan of the dots. Big fan of the parallel. Haven't tried the diamond yet, although I think they sent me some, and I'm going to try those soon. But also these non-effect sleeves work just as great if you're into that kind of stuff as well. So we'll go ahead and get started here. We have triple Alistair the Invoker to basically start. Standard, obviously, there's not too much to explain there. You got to play triple Alistair in this deck. And we have 3 Mekk Knight Purple Nightfall as well. I think this is like the literal best Mekk Knight in the deck next to Blue Sky, and I think seeing him in your opening hand always makes your turn that much better, so I think playing 3 is definitely a must. Then we have just 2 Indigo Eclipse, albeit this card is really good. I don't want to see him all the time. I'd rather search this guy as a follow-up to a Purple Nightfall search or a Blue Sky search, and then put him on the board last, because he allows you to sort of mold and shape your field once you've already started working into it. You can move him around. He's also really good with the trap card. You bring him back, he can move zones, and you can negate things that way. This card does a lot, and he comes out at 2400, which is super nice. And then we play just 2 Blue Sky. This card is great. I don't think it's a 3 of. I think 2 is actually fine. I've been playing this Mekk Knight ratio for a long time, and I've literally had no problems with it to this date. So 2 Blue Sky is fine. And last one, Mekk Knight, the Red Moon. This card is more and more useful every time I play it. Don't want to play any more than 1. It's a searchable card to out stuff. If I ever was going to play more, I'd ever only play 2 at max, but I think 1 is perfectly fine. Now we'll go into the hand traps here, the non-Mekk Knight stuff, non-Invoked stuff. Just 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Like I said, I took this to a tournament the other day, went X1, played Striker, Altergeist, Blue Eyes, and Cubics. If you want to know more about that tournament report, I did it on live, or I did it on stream live last Friday, so you can go back and check the VOD if you want, if you're interested in that, to hear more about the matchups I played. But I literally only played 3 Ash that entire tournament, and I'm testing this on YGO Pro like for the past few weeks, just non-stop hours of testing. And I've honestly never wanted to play more than just 3 Ash. The 3 Ash, I think, always comes up just perfectly fine. So this is the Brilliant Fusion engine. And this is the Brilliant Fusion build, I should say, and we are playing that in here. So the changes I've made in the past, I was literally just playing Garnet, which obviously I overlooked some really great things about the Brilliant Fusion engine, that is being Lazuli. This is supposed to be Mekk Knight of Ram. This is just a backwards Garnet, but it's Mekk Knight of Ram. I'm still waiting for mine to come in the mail. It hasn't gotten here yet. And I have a DT Lazuli coming as well, so that is the major changes I made to the Brilliant Fusion engine. I made a lot more changes in the spell lineup as well, and you'll see that in just a moment. But with Lazuli and Avram, not only can you like search Avram if you need him, if you don't have the Brilliant Fusion play accessible to you that turn or whatever, he's discard fodder for not World Legacy, but Morningstar, I should say. So let's say if you have Lazuli in hand or whatever, or you can't use Brilliant Fusion or whatever, you have a Vrom in hand, you can still use Morningstar, and you can ditch this to the grave, get a search with that Manila. He does a little bit more than just next to nothing, even though it is just a blank card. But I think playing the Lazuli is much better because with Brilliant Fusion, you can send these two to the grave and end up adding back your Avram to your hand to use as your extra normal summon immediately. Before with Garnet, you really couldn't get that option. You had to send a Mekk Knight and Garnet or Trick Clown, whatever you were playing, but you wouldn't get anything back if you weren't playing Trick Clown. But Lazuli allows you to add it back, and it gets you a monster on board to normal summon, if at least, and then you can use Seraphonite and Avram to go into Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. And then with Instant Fusion, you can Instant Fusion, discard a card, grab Book of the Law, change out Ragin for Mekaba, and that's pretty much a free Mekaba, like with minimal cards used just off of one Brilliant Fusion, which is really nice. So that's it for the monsters. Now we'll go into the spells, which consist of 3 Magical Meltdown. This card is still a must-have at 3. I think I was playing 2 in the past, but I think then since Terraforming got hit, I think 3 is the way to go. So 3 Meltdown, I should say. Love seeing that card. It is so awesome. It protects all your fusions. Then we have 3 Invo, of course. That's a must at this point. 3 Invo. 3 Brilliant Fusion. This card is literally fantastic in this deck. It works so well. Every time I open this card, it's never hurt me. It's literally only ever helped me. So I love this card. If you've never played Mekk Knights with Brilliant Fusion, I highly recommend giving it a shot. Now another change. I think in the previous build I was playing 2 Mind Control, and now I'm back to playing 3 because I've cut a few other cards out of the main deck, so I needed space. But I just like the power and the safety that Mind Control gives you, especially when you're one of the few going second decks of the format, I would say. I know there's going first variants of Mekk Knight Invoked, but I don't want to play those. I like the going second version. I like decks that go second in OTK. I really like that strategy. It's one of my favorites in the game. That's why I like Mermail so much. But this card gives you so much safety and security going into that, that turn 2, as it would be the second turn of the game. But your first turn allows you to really pick and choose how you want to start breaking down your opponent's board, and it helps you link up as well. And just bait out problem cards. This card is so versatile. And quickly becoming one of my favorite cards in the deck is Instant Fusion. Strictly because it does so much. It helps you link with Mud Dragon. It brings out Ragin, which can book cards if need be, to deal with problem stuff, to help out things. It can trigger Alistair. It can create a zone for a Mekk Knight, obviously, since it's a normal spell. It is so nice. I love this card. I love seeing my opening hand with Brilliant Fusion. I don't know if I'd play 3 because I'm only playing 2 targets for Brilliant Fusion, but I think playing 2 is absolutely amazing. This card literally does so much for you, and the biggest thing, in my opinion, is it's an easy triggering of your Alistair, the Invoker of Madness, and it allows you to, literally with him, you play this, you bring out Ragin, you discard a card, you grab Book of the Law, you change out your Ragin into a Mekaba, and it's literally a free Mekaba without using Invocation, without using Alistair, without using your normal summon. Of course, it depends on how you get to your Alistair, the Invoker of Madness in the first place, but you get what I mean. It's just such an awesome combo, an awesome integration that Instant Fusion plays in the deck, and that's why I really like it. And then I play 2 Call by the Grave. I'm going to play this card at max forever. Hopefully they don't hit it again, because if they do, I severely question Konami at that point. But next we have 2 Terraforming. We've got to play 2, got to max it out still, so still 2 Terraforming. Then we have some one-ofs here. Monster Reborn, World Legacy Session, still playing the one-of Hornet Drones. Playing the one-of World Legacy Memory. I was playing this card at 2 prior, but I've since bumped it down to 1 because yes, it is searchable, and a lot of times I don't want to see it in my opening hand. It's much better to search if you have to rely on a weaker combo with Morningstar. You can leave it set to give yourself Purple Nightfall the next turn, or even in a nice hand every now and then. This adds to it quite a bit just to get your play started. So I think at 1 it is perfectly okay. And then we have one Book of the Law. Now, you're probably wondering, where is Super Poly? Super Poly is amazing. You have to be playing Super Poly. But in all the testing that I've done and the tournament I went to the last weekend, Super Poly could not have been a worse card. Just because if everybody was playing, you know, Mekk Knight Invoked, you know, I'd be super excited to be playing Super Poly, and so would every other Mekk Knight Invoked player. But it just ends up not being the case. You never play against anything, at least in my experience, that warranted me to play Super Poly, at least anymore to play it. I'd probably side it in mirror matches, of course, but I'm not playing it in the main deck anymore. It's just too bricky and it does not do enough. And the last card of the deck I play is one World Legacy Secret. I've only ever played this at 1, and I don't want to play it any more than 1. I think 1 is just fine, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the main deck. Also, this card, you know what, actually, I would consider playing this card at 2, because more often than not, this card is so extremely helpful with Indigo. So I don't know, I might consider playing it at 2, but 2 would be probably the max. But if you're going to play any trap card in this deck, please play this card. It is so undeniably good. Now we'll go into the extra deck here, where we have 2 Invoked Mekk to start. Again, these are the Illusion Dot sleeves from Imperium Duelist, if you were wondering. And these are the armor sleeves as well, with no effects on them, so very nice. But 2 Invoked Mekk. I could play 3, but I think 2 is a perfect number. I've never needed more than 2. In most cases, the times that I did, it was just because I was just using resources way too fast and literally through the game on my own, so never needed that. Now we play 1 Megalancia. Finally have this card in. Finally came in the mail. So now I have an actual physical copy of it to show you guys. But Megalancia is really awesome because you do end up putting quite a few Earths into your grave. By quite a few, I mean possibly 2 at most, literally 2 at most, into your grave at some point. So having this big 3k beater to either summon into or change into with Book of Law to swing for a possible 4,000 with Alistair is super important. And I really like that fact, because you can literally just take out half your opponent's life points. And with a Mekk attacking prior and a Boral Sword with a double attack, it's going to be game pretty much all day. Then I play 1 Purgatrio and 1 Ragin, and that rounds up the Invoked fusions. And now we'll go into the other fusions, playing 1 Seraphonite and 1 Muddragon of the Swamp. I'm still playing Muddragon. I was originally playing it for the Super Poly tech, but obviously, you know, Seraphonite for Brilliant Fusion. But I was originally playing this for the Super Poly capabilities. But it is also still just a really solid level 4 to bring out with Instant Fusion, because you can change its attribute, which is super helpful with a card like Invocation, and it can come out and sort of wall up if need be. But this card is really versatile, and the fact that he can change his attribute is probably the biggest reason why I play him in this deck. And now we'll go into the Link monsters. My trusty steed, Boral Sword Dragon. This man has won me countless games. This is like the main OTK factor. Cue the Ludwig music from Bloodborne. But this guy, this boss monster, this Link monster, whatever you want to call him, is so crucial to the deck. It outs Borload, so I've thought about playing Borload in here, but like you don't need to when you have this thing. This thing takes care of Borload all day, just slaps him around in the face a couple times, no big deal. And then we have the rest of our links, which is 1 Invoker of Madness, 1 Morningstar. I've been playing these both at 1 since I've honestly started playing the deck, and I've only ever wanted a second Invoker of Madness, never a second one of these. I think one of these is fine. But if I ever do want to play one more of these cards, it's definitely going to be it's definitely going to be Alistair, I should say, because sometimes you do kind of want a second one. Then we'll go into the Nightmare package, which I'm playing Nightmare, Unicorn, I'm playing Phoenix, and I'm now playing Cerberus. Before I was playing Underclock Taker, literally the most useless card in the extra deck. That tournament I went to, I ended up losing a game because I went into a generic Link 2 that wasn't Phoenix or Cerberus, and then he summoned a Cubic Overlord and attacked over it, attacked again, and then burned for 3k, which ended up being exactly 8. If I would have went into one of these guys instead, I A, wouldn't have lost, and B, I would just have like a better Link monster to go into to begin with. So I'd rather play Cerberus than what's it called, Underclock, because now that we have Boral Sword, Underclock Taker is just kind of useless, let's be honest. And now we have our 2 Sky Striker monsters, Kagari and Hayate, the green one and the red one and the green one. If you're gonna play any Sky Strikers, play these 2. No need to play Shizuku, of course. These 2, you know, green and red go hand in hand. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Most of the combos still stay pretty much the same. The only thing that's different now is with the Lazuli and Avram. You can pretty much pull off the 1 card link to getting a free card back to your hand, which is playing Brilliant Fusion, sending Lazuli and Avram, adding back Avram, normal summoning him, and then linking those 2 for your either for your Alistair the Invoker, or it could be any of the Nightmares if you want, Cerberus or Phoenix, and go from there. Just easy link climbing off of 1 card. So that's going to do it for this profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. As always, winner kill signing out. We'll see ya in the next one.